Here with iNcontroL. He's a professional player this tournament. He dropped out 2-1 to Illusion, but had some pretty good games. Illusion's a tough opponent. What do you think about your run thus far? I mean, you're still technically in it, right?
Yeah, it's a smaller format of a tournament rather. So it sucks losing on day one. That always sucks. But in the 256 man tournament, usually you can go 2 or 3 rounds without a tough round. I consider Mao's Illusion a pretty good opponent, so to lose the way I did was frustrating, not in the I feel like I played really horribly way, but more in the I feel like I was pretty close to winning. That game 3, taking the engagement at the base of his ramp was really dumb. I had 3 mining bases. I should have pulled back for a bigger army. There's no reason to attack there. Terran Rally, they don't have Protoss Warpin, so my army only would have gotten better. His army would have remained fairly similar to what it was. So that's frustrating. I always do that. I'm always able to analyze and know why I lost, but in-game I'm like, go for it, Jeff, you can win, and it didn't happen.
And did you do a lot of practice for this, and how much, what did you do? What was your routine?
For me, actually, I always play StarCraft, but in the past when I was a player solely, I would, before tournaments, go into super secret mode, start doing more customs, hide builds, train ace in the pocket type builds, that kind of stuff. But this time around, I really focused on trying to be as calm and not stressed about it as much as I possibly could, just because I know that I'm not putting as much time in as these other guys are. But I don't want to, I mean, I'm still a competitor. I still like to win. So I wanted to conquer it mentally as opposed to put in innumerable amounts of hours.
Do you prepare for casting?
No, actually, I feel like I'm cheating the system a little bit, but I think because I play this game 8-ish hours a day, a lot of that actually lends itself towards casting anyways.
What about player histories and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting because when I cast with Apollo, he'll pull up numbers that I don't have. So just line by line on paper, that is something I probably should do to enrich the casting. But what I'm able to do is say, I've seen them do this, I've seen them do that, because I play with them, but also I watch their streams.
So you should write on your hand.
Yeah.
It's like, Mao's Illusion is 2-1 against Zerg this month.
That would be good camera work, I think. I would be able to pull it off totally. You can see out there, that could work.
So who's your favorite co-commentator?
Damn. I'm gonna do my best effort to not give you the political answer, which is there's so many to choose from, and then name all of them. Yeah.
Apollo? Too good?
Actually, I have to do the pseudo-political thing, not because it's smoke, but because I actually, for different reasons, the cast with Total Biscuit was awesome because he's really witty. He's very much so. He's got the voice, obviously, so I feel like I'm on a higher level when casting alongside him. But he's also very good at being his role. He's the line-by-line guy, and I'll be the analysis. But then this last DreamHack with Apollo, I had an absolute... he's able to go straight silly, man. We'll just melt down into hilarity, but he'll also ramp it up into the highest analysis you can have. So I think I'd have to say Apollo, but Total Biscuit's way up there, too.
Cool. And he's going to be doing WCS EU now. Him and Kenneget, bros for life. What do you think about MLG and NASL, the WCS transition?
I think it's unfortunate that it went the way it did, just because it feels like someone almost died. It has that kind of solemn, dark feeling to it. But when you look at it, MLG should be doing these big live events. They're kicking ass in Anaheim. They're doing a great job. Nobody at Anaheim is saying, well, this doesn't feel like it's their thing. No, this is their thing. Whereas NASL is your daily content, which is what WCS is. WCS is your small audience, maybe studio broadcast of regular StarCraft content. And they've got 4 in-house commentators. They're talking to other ones as well. They're looking to open up their brand, and they're going to kick ass at what they do. So I hope we get past this dark cloud. I hope MLG is hyping up the every other month big event, and I hope NASL is kicking ass in the studio on a daily basis.
Do you think? Well, remember when NASL started?
Yes, I do remember.
Do you think they'd be at this point?
No.
Where they get the WCS contract over MLG? Come on.
No, I absolutely didn't. We always had kind of a...
I remember that NASL 1.
Yeah. Oh, it was...
The sound issues, the...
To name... You can go to the sound issues, but there was worse, man. I remember our first broadcast, with blue tarp around us, wires everywhere. The computers weren't really connecting. We were casting off of replays that weren't synced. Like, the problems were huge, but they've always had kind of like an underdog feel to them. So for them to now be getting the WCS bid and to be talking about big things, it feels cool. It feels cool to be an actual founding father of something. Like Russ is really good about being like, Jeff was there at the beginning, and I appreciate that, because I feel like we broke dirt on something.
You gonna do some guest casting maybe?
I'd love to. I always try to Russ and I have this really funny game going on right now where because he will never be like, I want you booked for this, which is what I need, because I don't want to invite myself because I can't. But he'll be like, anytime you want to cast, you're welcome. And I'm like, cool. Anytime you want to have me cast, I would love to. And he's like, anytime you want to, you're welcome. And I'm like, Russ, come on. So hopefully.
Yeah, I remember I think NASL also, they have they can do more fun stuff, with their little segments that they do that are fun. MLG seems to be a bit more serious when it comes to this kind of thing. So when ESL, they fly in White Ruff or a bartender or whatever, they can do more stuff like that, and I think that's fun on a day-to-day basis.
I like that everyone has their own flavors. Like, we just had Home Story Cup. There is only one Home Story Cup. You can't get away with Lucy Lou or Loopy Lou rather, and drinking. Whatever, man. I didn't play it. I hate those kind of games. But then you have DreamHack, which is a little bit more silly, but still kind of a big show. ESL was the more straight-laced thing. That didn't really work out for them, so now they're branching out to be a little bit different. But MLG has the very much so American ESPN feel to them, and it would feel really weird if, Sundance came out in a onesie, or Axel Toss and Axlav were wearing a Pikachu costume. That doesn't fit there. So I like that we have our different feels between the leagues.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it'll be fun. I don't think we're gonna ever get the full straight story about Blizzard and MLG though, but that's fine. Sometimes it doesn't work out. It's not necessarily one person's fault or one organization's fault. So I think it's all for the best. And what do you think about WCS in general?
Obviously, at the very beginning, I was overly optimistic. I was ecstatic. It seemed like Blizzard was finally like, you know what, Riot's doing amazing work over there. We're going to do the same. In practice, it feels like there's been a lot of growing pains, obviously, with the MLG transition over to NASL. There was no mistaking what you were hinting at. It's that it was a cluster F. It was really bad. So hopefully that stuff can get ironed out. But as far as my opinion of it is that I like that the language I'm hearing from Blizzard and everybody else is that this is an investment in the future. It's like something they're pushing forward. Because a lot of the really emphatic Chicken Littles were saying, once Legacy of the Void is out, Blizzard will move on to the next big thing. It feels like WCS is their way of saying, StarCraft, you will have our attention for a long time, and we're hoping to set up a scene where, moving forward, you will always have this professional scene that you can count on. And for me, that's really cool, because I want to base my entire life around StarCraft, as I have so far, but I want it to go past the DJ Wheat years into the Artosis years, the late 40s and 50s.
And for me, I think that it's just nice to have something that you can just watch and that's the most important league. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you can see fun strategies, and I think, but part of the reason why TLO is doing so well in them is that because when you have tournaments that occur over the span of 3 days, that's caters to one type of player. I'm not saying that's better or worse,
sure,
but I think you would have done better in a WCS format too. I think any player that can strategize better versus going off of raw mechanics, there's only so many players that can do the same build every single game, or do a variation of it and just play 20 games in a row and just win every single one. I think it's much better to have these best of threes that you can prepare for, and it makes for much more fun games.
You're exactly right. I think that's a big part of the reason why some people enjoy the GSL, because a lot of the talk was around what build did this guy work out for him, and that was a huge chunk of the excitement. And I think that's part of the reason why we've had players like even a Huck or Naniwa actually have really good success in the GSL, is because, Naniwa a little bit more so than Huck. They're not necessarily the best mechanical players. They're not absolutely the fastest. They're good, don't get me wrong, but they're not Korean high level. But they were able to come up with some builds that could top better opponents, and that's really cool.
Okay, so what about this is a serious interview. We've been talking about serious topics. I like the change of pace. We always change it up with you. What have you been doing in your personal life? What's been going on?
For me, I'm living with my wife Anna, obviously, in our apartment, and that's really nice. It's really I think nerds have more of a tendency to be kind of like lone wolves, you know, like they like their privacy.
That's one way to put it.
That's one way to put it.
That's one way to put it.
Pro gaming houses are awesome for training. They're the best. There's no question about it. But a lot of times you'll go a little bit stir crazy just because you can't really go anywhere without hearing other voices and other people. So I'm really enjoying this chunk of my life right now. So in my free time, I've been putting together my Warhammer models finally. I'm starting to connect with people that actually play the game in San Francisco, which is really cool. I still haven't gotten there yet, but I will start playing. And then in my free time, I do things like I try to play some console games, but as I say that, like I've been playing BioShock Infinite for like 3 months, which is it's not a long game, so it's actually ridiculous. I'm on the last fight. I'm on the big airship battle. And the next one is going to be Last of Us. But I try to diversify. So I'm trying to read. I went to a concert on Sunday. This is a good interview for people. They were like, "Did iNcontroL get beat up?" This is sunburn right here. This is nerd sunburn. So my face was falling off.
What concert did you go to?
It was Warped Tour, and I saw a lot of my favorite bands. And I hung out with shout out.
Recognized?
I did actually. It's really
what happened? Tell me what happened. I'm asking you so you can brag as much as you want.
Well, I was just going to say actually, it's just kind of a shout out to San Francisco and really California because I would get recognized in Phoenix, which was really cool. There's a lot of gamers there, but in California, it's like I actually can't go outside without being recognized, and it feels like it's happening at times that you would. If I was single, I would not be single long because it's so cool. I'll be like hanging out with friends, we're like talking. Someone's like, iNcontroL, and I'm like, "What's up, dude? What's going on?" And they're like, "You're so awesome." And I'm like, when I'm around other people that don't know, I try to play it off like super casual, like, "Yeah, man, it's great to meet you. You're awesome. Thank you so much." And they're like, "What were we talking about?" And they're like, "Ah." So I'm joking, obviously, but it's nice. It's really nice.
And you've been flying a lot too. And anything up the pipeline coming up? What are you going to be doing?
Yes, it's been awesome working with DreamHack so much. I feel like I owe so much of my world travels to them. I will not be going to Valencia. We're going to have a different cast there. I won't spoil that show for them, obviously, but a really fun group of people is doing that. And then, obviously, I won't spoil future stuff, but I'm working very close with DreamHack, which is really cool. I always put my feelers out there. Like EG Management does a really good job of like trying to represent us, and so I don't have to track down these other companies. But I'd love to do an IEM. We're in talks with them. I'm really sad I'm not doing MLG. I'm just gonna put it out there. I had such a blast last time. It's great being here playing, but I wish I was casting. So nothing is solid yet that I can say, but I can tell you that you'll see more of my casting soon.
And you gonna do a rap album or something? That's what's the next step.
Horrible rapper.
What about a movie? You control the movie,
dude. Let's make it happen. Actually, that's actually a good question because we actually did a documentary with a really talented crew out of Canada that is going to put it on Canadian television. That's actually a couple months out from being released. And I know that we've all been talking about documentaries for a while, but this one is fairly current. Like it's about a 6-month turnaround. So obviously there's going to be a lot of stuff out of loop for the hardcore fans, but they go deep, man. They go.
Hydra will be in it.
Hydra will be in it. There's going to be some foreshadowing of weird stuff there. There's some brutal honesty. Like they asked management about a couple of players, and they give some answers that they were like, "Oh shit, is that going to be on camera?" And I cry, Anna cries. We talk about
cry
sex.
About what?
I can't remember, man. I don't know. Just it's crazy. It's going to be really intense.
I'm excited to see that one. I'll find a way to legally watch that at home.
No, it'll be it's on television in Canada, but it'll be online too and stuff.
Okay. I'll find a way. Life finds a way.
It does.
Okay. I feel like I interview every time, so I don't think we need to go too long. So we could do this forever. We could do this for 40 minutes, but do your shout outs and everything like that, and then we'll good luck in the second round.
Oh, thank you. Just as always, I thank you guys for having me on. Actually, I always read the comments on this, and people are really excited to read and hear and see content from MLGs, and they've always been really supportive of me. So thank you guys so much. Evil Geniuses, awesome team, and you know where to find me. Just thank you.
Thanks.